Guys, my name's Ben.
This is Andrew.
And we're going to continue his RWBY journey. This one is called Burning the Candle. Go ahead and give us a rundown of last episode.
Alright, so last episode, we got to see a lot of Pyrrha. We got to see that she's an absolute boss, right? She took on the whole Team Cardinal. And like you had stated, like she's... We also saw is that she, and they also stated as well, the bad guys, that she's very subtle with her semblance. Not many people know about her semblance. I think only... Who knows of it? Like RWBY.
I can tell you RWBY and Weiss were standing there when she said, "My semblance is this," and you can assume that a team, because in the RWBY versus Juniper team fight, the food fight in the first chapter, she used it.
Yeah, so both teams pretty much know now. But and then I remember when she had stated that to RWBY in the woods, didn't she tell RWBY to keep that a secret or something like that?
She was referring to not telling John. About her helping him because it was
morale boost. But yeah, no. So
you can see he's training really hard now.
But we learned that she uses her semblance in fighting actually pretty frequently, but she does it so subtle that people don't catch on to her actually using it once. Yeah. So homeboy Mr. Mercury was like, "I'll fight. Let me get a piece of that," and it was more so to feel her out. He wasn't actually trying to fight. He was trying to feel out. And like I had said, which they didn't say, but I figure, because we all know, like they stated about her, the undefeated girl, like the most untouchable girl. So he wanted a piece of what the best of this school had to offer. Yeah. And her. And like he said, he figured out her semblance, not even a minute fighting her. Yeah. And then he was like, "Okay, I quit."
Just one quick note, they were probably watching... They were watching the fight.
Oh, they're watching the Cardinal fight. Yeah, they're probably watching the Cardinal fight.
Like I said, she uses it so subtly that you wouldn't know just by watching. Yeah, right? Yeah. So those two were just watching, so they didn't know what it was. So that's why he volunteered to fight her. Yeah. He had a closer, like a hand-to-hand experience. Yeah. And then that's how he figured it out.
Yeah, he wanted to see what she was all about.
So he's like, what is her semblance? Why is this happening? So that's why he... And then she moved his boot, and he's a kicker, so it's like, I didn't move my boot that way. What happened? And then he put the pieces together, and he's like, "Okay, it's it's magnetism." Yeah. So
it's all right. I forfeit.
Yeah, because he got the info he needed.
Info,
and then he didn't want to give them any more info about him.
About him. Yeah. Yep.
And you had what happened after that?
Oh, my man Sean tried to throw a shot at Wise, but she was like, "Nah." And then
slammed the door twice.
And, Pyrrha were talking, and Pyrrha clearly was trying to be like, "You can take me out," without saying, "You can take me out." And he was just like telling her his problems with Wise, and she was like, "But there's plenty of fish." And he was like, "Oh, it's all okay for you to say, because you're Mrs. So-and-so, and you can get whoever you want. You got guys throwing themselves at you." And then she just like, "You'd be surprised, because I really want you, even though you're a loser."
Ridiculous.
Mr. Onesie.
Hey. But it worked though.
Hey, it worked though. He pulled out the onesie. Pyrrha says, "Hey, I like my man modest, all right?"
It's so like, bro, like, not everyone likes this kind of sauce, but it's good for me, you know, like. All right. And then we had a little meeting with Cinder and Mercury and Emerald talking about pretty much they're going over the people. You can assume that they were watching like people fighting, and they were giving them info, and they said, "Hey, add Pyrrha to the list." So there's a list somewhere. Don't know what that is.
No idea.
And they were like, "Yeah, what do you call it?" Yeah, what I was going with, but yeah. So we're gonna move on. So
boom,
go. Has that episode changed your favorite person?
Nah.
Or are you still a Yang?
Still a Yang, kind of. Pyrrha's pretty up there now, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably her and Yang. I will say, I kind of like Mercury, I'm not gonna lie.
Mercury's savage, dude.
Yeah, I like Mercury, I'm not gonna lie. I've always liked characters like him.
He's just the feet version of Yang.
He kind of, yeah, feet version. But I'm saying like his attitude and his like the way he acts and stuff.
Yeah.
I always gravitated towards characters like that. He reminds me of I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but he kind of reminds me of like a Sasuke type character, like, you know, the cool, like, dark guy in the back.
I mean, it's the,
yeah.
it's the bad boy character.
Yeah, you get the bad boy character, exactly.
I need you to pick a tablecloth. Aren't they both the same? I don't even know why I asked.
The big speaker, bro.
Yeah, I know.
What's the point? Who cares about the dance if Blake isn't going?
Oh, don't worry. She's going.
Weiss? I thought we agreed. No doilies. If I don't get doilies, you don't get fog machines.
Your dance is gonna have fog machines?
We were thinking about it.
That's pretty cool.
You ladies all excited for dress up?
Yeah, right.
Laugh all you want. I'll be turning heads tomorrow night.
What are you two wearing?
This?
Ignore him, for he knows not what he says.
Hey,
Or he don't know what he's...
But I grew up in Vacuo. It's not exactly a shirt and tie kind of place.
Yeah, we've noticed.
So, what does Blake think of all this? She's still being all, you know, Blakey?
Obviously.
Blakey.
I still can't think of a way to change her mind.
Guys, trust me. Blake will be at the dance tomorrow.
Oh, psych. So foul.
You ever did that with a cat before?
Absolutely. My dog even goes crazy over it when I do it to her, too. It's the bad guys, though, isn't it? Oh, no, it's her.
Hello! What do you... We need to talk.
Come here. Paul, what's up, Ren? My dude's got the most vicious rat tail of all time.
Ren, I'm just gonna come out and say it. You are one of my best friends.
Oh, okay.
These past few months, I feel like we've
Close
really
enough.
bonded. Even though you don't say much. I mean,
I would have
you're
said that.
really quiet. To be perfectly honest, I don't know that much about you personally, but darn it, I consider you to be the brother I never had.
I feel this man's naked on his bed.
Which is why I wanted to get your advice on girls.
Girls?
I just
Such an awkward time to ask a dude about girls while he's naked.
Girls, I guess what I'm asking is, well, how did you
Put his clothes on?
you know,
We're not actually together.
Nora, I said headphones on!
Sean, what is this all about?
It's Weiss. I'm completely head over heels for her, and she won't even give me a chance. She's cold, but she's also incredible. She's smart and graceful and talented. I mean, have you heard her sing?
My dude's blowing in the
I
wind
just
right
wish
now.
she'd take
Telling
me
him about your
seriously,
love.
You know? I wish I
Oh
could
man,
tell
he gets some
her
clothes on.
how I feel without messing it all up.
Then do it.
What?
Tell her exactly what you've just said. No ridiculous schemes, no pickup lines. Just be honest.
There's like,
Jean,
Jackson, please. Jackson.
you can't get it wrong if it's the truth.
Practice what if she told him how she... I'd be like, what?
Wow. Okay. Practice what you preach, huh?
Yeah.
Good talk, Ren.
Oh god, is she gonna do it too? I would hate having to live in a room with two girls, getting a shower, me having to come in and get dressed.
Oof, you totally just missed it.
Oh, my fault. You go back. Fall back.
Practice what you preach, Pyrrha.
Oh. That's why I was like, oh
I'm
my
the
God.
goat.
Yang, if you're going to tell me to stop, you may as well just save your breath.
I don't want you to stop. I want you to slow down.
Too easy.
Don't have the luxury to slow down.
It's not a luxury. It's a necessity.
The necessity is stopping Torchwick.
And we're going to. But first you have to sit down and listen to what I have to say.
Fine.
Ruby and I grew up in Patch, an island just off the coast of Vale. Our parents were huntsmen. Our dad taught at Signal, and our mom would take on missions around the kingdom. Her name was Summer Rose, and she was like super mom, baker of cookies and slayer of giant monsters. And then, one day she left for a mission and never came back. It was tough. Ruby was really torn up, but I think she was still too young to really get what was going on, you know? And my dad just kinda shut down. It wasn't long before I learned why. Summer wasn't the first love he'd lost. She was the second.
Real goat.
Was my mom. He wouldn't tell me everything, but I learned that the two of them had been on a team together with Summer and Crow, and that she'd left me with him just after I was born.
It's 20.
No one had seen her since.
Why did she leave you?
That question. Why? I didn't know the answer, but I was determined to find out. It was all I thought about. I would ask anybody I could what they knew about her. Then, one day, I found something. What I thought was a clue that could lead me to answers. Or maybe even my mother. I waited for Dad to leave the house, put Ruby in a wagon, and headed out. I must have walked for hours. I had cuts and bruises, was totally exhausted, but I wasn't gonna let anything stop me. When we finally got there, I could barely stand. But I didn't care. I had made it. And then I saw them. Those burning red eyes. There we were, a toddler asleep in the back of a wagon and a stupid girl too exhausted to even cry for help. We might as well have been served on a silver platter. But, as luck would have it, our uncle showed up just in time. My stubbornness should have gotten us killed that night.
Yang, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I understand what you're trying to tell me, but this is different. I'm not a child, and this isn't just a search for answers. I can't just—
I told you, I'm not telling you to stop. I haven't. To this day, I still want to know what happened to my mother and why she left me, but I will never let that search control me. We're going to find the answers we're looking for, Blake. But if we destroy ourselves in the process, then what good are we?
You don't understand. I'm the only one who can do this.
No, you don't understand. If Roman Torchwick walked through that door, what would you do?
I'd fight him.
You'd lose.
I can't stop him.
You can't even stop me. I'm not asking you to stop. Just please, get some rest. Not just for you, but for the people you care about. And if you feel like coming out tomorrow, I'll save you a dance.
Neptune!
Oh, hey, what's up?
I know this is a little unorthodox, but I wanted to ask you something. Would you like to accompany me to the dance tomorrow?
Finally, he learns.
Oh, you look beautiful! Can we have a serious talk about how Weiss fights in these?
Oh, she's never worn heels.
Stupid
This is the most rigged up outfit ever. Oh, Blake just. Even Blake getting dressed up?
Looking like snacks.
Does this mean we're going?
Kind of like a schnack, she said.
Technically, though my first dance is spoken for.
I told you she would come.
Mission accomplished. So, what do we do now?
Just have fun.
Does that mean I can change out of these stupid things and into my hood now? Stupid lady stilts.
Not enjoying yourself?
Oh, no. Everything's fine. I'm just not much of a fancy-pantsy dancy girl.
Well, you can't spend your entire life on the battlefield, even if you may want to.
Yeah, that lesson's been floating around a lot lately.
If you think about it, fighting and dancing aren't so different. Two partners interlocked. Although, one wrong move on the ballroom merely leads to a swollen foot.
Or a twisted ankle.
It's not every day that friends are able to come together like this. Time has a way of testing our bonds. But it's nights like these that can help keep them stronger than ever. Nights like these are ones we'll never forget.
You guys are just in time.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Whenever I think of you, how I wish you all they knew.
Song is fire, bro.
Oh man. Jean had to learn the hard way. I do it the hard way. I did learn the hard way. So.
Alright, so let's go.
Recap.
Blake isn't. We were thinking about it.
So
Weiss?
they're setting up.
No doilies.
If I
She's
don't get doilies, you don't
anti-fog machine. Neptune is like
Dance is gonna have fog machines?
We were thinking about it.
super switch sides. Says yeah.
So excited for dress up, but I grew
Right. So at this point, we get some backstory or be a little setup here.
Yeah.
These past few months, I feel like we've really.
they talk about how this guy Ren doesn't talk at all.
Yeah.
He said 3 lines throughout that entire thing.
Yeah,
one of them was
Yeah, I know. I called it. I said that's why I said I couldn't really say I like him because he doesn't talk a lot. That is the creator until he passes away, right?
Yeah. So this is the last volume. He passes between this one and the next one.
Got you.
But his brother takes over.
Got you.
So here, there's a huge backstory. I want to make sure you really understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
So at this point, the lore drop states that Yang and RWBY are half sisters. They do have separate mothers, just as you predicted back in the previous volume. They do have separate mothers.
Just the same dad.
Same dad, yes. And they were all on a team together. So they said that both their moms, their dad, and their uncle were all 4 on the same team.
Oh.
Right.
Daddy gets around. So Daddy got around. He got 2 of the same
So-
girls on the same team.
So what they said was, she's the older one. So her mom, after Yang was born, left.
Okay.
Gone. And then got together with Summer, and they had RWBY, and Summer went on a mission and never came back. Right. So therefore, it's not at this. They were not confirmed or confirmed dead. Right. They're both just gone.
Okay.
Right. Summer is assumed dead. That's why they created a tombstone. And she might be. She might not be. At this point, nothing has been stated.
Okay.
So, but her mother just left, right? And it wasn't necessarily a mission. It was just she just said she left.
Okay.
So she was like, hey, why did my mom leave? You know, like she was a kid. She said she was like a very young kid. So she found info, and they go to this backstory. She found info on her mom, so she goes to this place, which is like hours away apparently. Yeah. And because her dad went on a mission. So just her and Ruby, right? And the monsters, the Grimm came at him, and then the uncle. That's his symbol, which you'll see is drawn on the board. But that's their uncle.
He is a scythe.
He is a scythe. Which was stated in the first episode that there was only one other scythe wielder of that level, and she's like, yeah, that. She was like, and she's like, she finished the cookies, yeah, and she's like, oh, that's my Uncle Crow. So you've been this character's been mentioned several times, gotcha, but not formally introduced yet. Gotcha. We can assume she said, oh, as luck would have it, her uncle was there to save us. So you can imagine that what do you call it? The dad was like, hey, like, can you like watch after them? Like, yeah. Like while I'm on my mission, because you wouldn't just leave a toddler and a little kid by themselves. So exactly. But they obviously went on this journey. Yeah. So the uncle was like not with them, but he was watching them. Like he was there, letting them do their own thing. So they're talking, and then she's like you can't stop me. How are you gonna stop Torchwick? You know, it's like here we have Weiss gonna go, or John gonna ask. He sees Weiss talking to Neptune. He's like, yeah, you know what? It's just done. So, then we have Blake coming to the dance. They're all rested, having a good time, and then got some knowledge. And every time he comes in, it's just like, boom, knowledge bomb. You're like, all right. And then right here at the end, you have these two coming into the. Maybe they just want to dance. Yeah, they just want to dance, you know. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's the weekend, and you know, Cinder said they had a fun weekend ahead of them, you know. So maybe they just want to dance. You know? Maybe. That's it. That's all they want to do. They just want to dance.
They just want to dance, guys. That's all it is.
They don't need to have any evil plans happen. You know, it's just a dance, bro.
Dropping a nuke on the dance.
It's just in the problems now. Just. All right. Well, we're gonna get on to the next one. So I stream, he streams, we streams. Check us out on Twitch. Like, comment, subscribe to this video. Now we'll see you in the next one, right? Bye, guys.